Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So, um, we will do this the way that it's done in IELTS. So I will not interrupt you. I will not correct you. I will grade you based on whatever you say. All right? So
Okay.
unlike before that I stop the student and make corrections, but this time I will not do anything except to ask you questions. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes. Let me fix my earpiece. It's entangled. I'm
Okay.
trying to. Okay. So, how is the family?
I'm sorry.
So, how is the family?
Oh, great. We went out last night. I and my husband went out together with the boys. And you know what a sing along is? Karaoke.
Okay.
Yeah, so we
Um.
sang, we had dinner, we had a couple of beers, and then we sang some songs. Right.
Really?
Yes, we
I
did.
see.
And the boys, it's their first time to go on a date with us. So they had a great time last night. So the boys are asking if we can go out again soon. So
Really?
yes,
You
so
know,
they're like
it's
adults
always a
now.
nice experience. Yes, it's always a nice experience going out with a family for the first time, and
I
yeah, you realize
you like
everything is just cool.
right. Do
Okay.
you like going
Yeah.
out with your family?
Come again?
Do you like going out with your family?
Yes, that is if I'm around them because nowadays I'm working somewhere and they are also somewhere. I'm somewhere at the south of the country and they are the east of the country. So, but if I'm with
That's
them, I
right.
like to go out with them. Yeah.
Okay. So let's
Okay, I think
start
I'm
with our
ready now.
speaking test. Let's start with
Yes.
our speaking test, and I think that I might be asking you something about family. All right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So, good morning. My name is Anna. I'm your examiner for the day. Welcome to your IELTS speaking test. What is your full name, please?
Good morning. My name is Ruben.
How do I call you?
Please, you can call me Ruben because that's how a lot of my colleagues call me.
Ruben. Thank you.
Yes.
May I see your identification card, please? All right. So, you show me your ID.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So, in this part of the test, I'll be asking you questions about yourself. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Do you have a small or a big family?
I have a big family at large because in Ghana we practice extended family. But when you come to my nuclear family, it's very small. I and my siblings, we are only three. Together with my mom and my dad, we are five. So it's quite a small family. But when you come to the big family at large, we are a bit many because Ghana, we practice that sometimes. But now that they are trying to cut off this extended family, I think in the next 10 years to come, a lot of people will be practicing nuclear family rather than the extended family, so to say.
How is your family compared to other families in your country?
My family, looking at my family size, it's quite the smaller one because mostly you will not find a lot of family who are only three or together with their parents five. It's mostly seven, eight together with their parents. But my family is quite a small one and it's like it's odd in the town. So comparing my family to other families, my family looks smaller than other family because other family have larger number than ours. And in terms of work that we do, most of my community, a lot of them are into farming and other things. But my family, we are into supermarket. My brother have a mart which we operate. So in terms of work number and how we relate to each other is quite different from other family because there are other family in my community. A child, even a child, your daughter or your son, you can play with your mom. they will say your mom belongs to your dad, so you can't play with your mom. Unlike in the Western world, that you see children playing with their mom anyhow they want, even if they are old. It's not like that in my community, but for my parents, they allow us to do those things, even as we are still in that community, that those things, in quotes, are not allowed.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk about your free time. So, what are your hobbies?
Most of my free times, my leisure times, so to say, I read books, and at times I watch movies if I have the time. Books that I read are not actually story books or fiction books. No, no, no. I have more time to read books that are relating to my job. Currently, I'm a psychiatric nurse, so I like to read books that will give me more knowledge, how to go about my clients daily, how to improve in my clients' conditions. That is always what I'm targeting. So if I have the leisure time to read books, I read books concerning psychiatry. And when I have the time more to watch some other movies too, I love to watch seasonal movies or series movies sometimes.
Okay, thank
So if
you.
it's
Let's talk. What is the importance of spending time with family?
It's very essential. It's very crucial to spend time with your family, if you ask me, because
Right?
families are great gift that anybody can have in life. Okay, if you don't have families, I think everything you do doesn't actually become complete, because families form a missing part of us. So when you are with your families, you feel like you have the whole world crashing under your feet. It becomes so small because you have everything at your disposal. You have
Okay,
laughter.
stop.
You have okay.
Thank you. What activities do you think families should do together?
Mostly activities that families should engage in should be dinner time, and most of the times, if you have the time, you can watch movies with your family as a family movie. You can either go out, watch movie, or stay at the hall to watch movies together. And sometimes you can do
Okay,
activity,
thank
outdoor
you.
games, other things. Okay.
Let's talk. Let's talk about transport. How do you usually travel around your town or city?
Traveling around my city always is on wheels. You go by vehicles, okay, and most of the time you get this tricycle. If you remember, we have this tricycle that is having only one tire at the front and two tires at the back. It's always used in my country too. So it's either you go by taxi or you go by those tricycle around. Anywhere you want to go, they can pick you there. You just have to pay something small. So it's very convenient sometimes, because anytime you're looking for them, they are always available. They are always there because you can. They are reliable, and because it's a small
Let's talk.
community. Okay.
Okay, thank you. How do you think we could persuade more people to use public transport?
Considering that we can let, or we can have more people on board to patronize public transport by explaining to them that it's to our own good, because less private vehicles along the road, it reduces traffic, and at the same time fumes that comes from the exhaust of the cars will also reduce, because we are all using public transport, you enter once, you are going, you don't meet other private cars giving
Thank
you
you.
stop. Yeah.
Let's talk about entertainment. Do you go out a lot or do you prefer home entertainment?
Personally, in my life, I prefer home entertainment compared to outside one. I only engage in outside entertainment maybe with only when my girlfriend is around. But most of the time, I like home entertainment, because my place currently that I'm staying, uh, a lot of people talk, they talk in quotes, as in negative talks. Anything you do, people are monitoring you. But if I do these things at home or in my room, nobody says it. So to me personally, I engage in home entertainment more compared to
Thank
outdoor.
you.
Yes.
What kind of things do you watch on TV?
Most of the times I do watch news, and some other times, if I have the time, I look at some movies, especially the channels that show the series movies or the seasonal movies. I do look at those channels too, because if it's not news, then it's my movies. If it's not my movies, then it's news. So most of the time, if I'm on TV and these pastors
Thank
mostly
you.
preaching on.
Can you easily entertain yourself when you're alone?
Yes, most of the time. I play music to sometimes dance a bit, not vigorous dancing as such, some light movements and other things, just to, elate my mood, as if there's nothing wrong. Mostly if I come from work and I feel so tired, I do that a lot, and
Thank you.
it revives me. Okay.
Are there many places for entertainment in your area?
Yes, a lot of places, nightclubs, bars, and jams. A lot of them are out there, but I just don't patronize them because of my faith. In my church, we don't engage in those things. So even if you do that, you have to move to the next community where maybe any of the church members or the church elders will not see you. So a lot of them are around, but personally, I don't involve myself in them because of this very problem I have with my
Right.
religion.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's the end of part one, and let's go to part two. So in this part, you will have 2 minutes to talk about the topic and 1 minute to prepare. You may or may not take down notes. You may begin when you're ready.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm ready. Today I'm going to talk to you about something vital someone have taught me in life, and I'm still using that, and it's helping me a lot. The person who taught me this very thing was my mother. My mother, she's a good teacher when it comes to useful tips to children. She's very good at that. A lot more of the time, people talk about everything you do. So I do feel so sad about that. So my mother called me one day and said, "Don't worry about what people say. Just make sure that what they are saying is not true. So let them say, but don't let it be." And she told me this. Ever since then, I don't care about what people actually say about things I do. Even if I'm at work, the people think I'm not doing it well. I don't really care, but I should make sure that it's not exactly what they are saying that I'm doing. She taught me this simply in a normal conversation. So we were talking, and I was like, Ma, why are these things in place where people talk about everything you do? And she said, "Oh, my son, this world is like that. Whether you do good or bad, they will talk about it. So ignore them and follow your instincts, follow your heart, what you think is right." This thing has been ever since useful to me until now as I'm talking to you, because I'm still living in this world that people talk about everything that a human beings do. Even if you breathe, they talk about it. So at work side, people try to um, give you negative feedbacks on things you do. Even you know very well that what you're doing is the right thing to do, but they are still
Thank you.
saying things behind you.
Okay, stop. So let's talk about schools. Okay. What would you say was the most important thing you learned at school or are learning right now?
The most vital thing when I was back at college that I learned was how to relate with humans. How to relate with humans. Humans are broad, let me say in quote, animals to get along with. They are very difficult. So I learned these things when I was back at college, where you have a lot of people around you. So how to get along with human beings was what I was trying to focus. How you not step on somebody's feet, how you try not to offend a group of people, how your behavior is going to be singled out. Those are
Thank
the
you.
things. Yeah.
Okay. Could you compare the effectiveness of schools in the past with that in the present?
Come again.
Could you compare the effectiveness of schools in the past with that in the present?
Yes, there is a little link between the two, but I think school is more effective nowadays because there have been new curriculums introduced into the education system now. So our time wasn't as effective as it is now, and there are some monitoring mechanisms that have been put in place now that used not to be at our time. Because our time, you can just leave lectures anytime you want, but now there are some that they have put some measures in place that is monitoring that school children don't have to leave school at any time that they wish. And even if you are leaving
Thank
campus, you
you.
have to sign exit. Okay.
Good. Top. In what ways do you think schools will change in the future?
I think a lot more ways school is going to change, whether we like it or not, because right now, as I speak to you, my professional exam, which is the nursing licensing exam, first in my country, you write it with papers, but now they are going to write it on computer based. So things are really improving. And I'm thinking in the next 10 years, so to say, we are not going to even take a note with maybe papers and pens. Maybe everybody, the school is going to provide tablets for everybody as they are projecting whatever you are learning. I
Thank
think the same
you.
thing will be projecting. Okay.
Let's talk about careers. How important is it for people in your country to get a university education?
That is one of the most wonderful thing in my country, and I've been waiting to talk about it. In my country, if you didn't get the university education, you are seen as nobody. That is in my country. So it's one of the thing, even as a child, that you are so much into, that you want to reach there. So even in my country, even if you should attend university and you have no job, you are okay. At least you have finished university, so you are okay. You can stay at home and feel okay. But if you haven't got that chance, it's like there's something missing as part of your life. So in my country, people embrace, uh, uh, um, excuse me, people embrace professionalism or careers, especially the one that you
Thank
can
you.
attain university level. Okay.
What kind of jobs can people do without a university education?
In my country here, jobs that they can offer you is maybe cleaning, security, or farming. Maybe a lot of people are into large scale farming, and they could employ you to drive some of their machineries, maybe tractors and harvesters and other things. Those one, you don't need any qualifications to do those jobs. So in my country, these are the things you can get yourself offered if you are not having the university education.
What are the advantages to starting work at a young age?
The advantages of starting any job at a young age is mostly if you start work or if you start any job at a younger age, it helps you accumulate money or capital for anything you want to do. Because I think if you are older enough before you start a particular job, when are you going to start your family? And when are you going to do other things? When are you going to at least build a house or other things of life? But if you start at a younger age, it helps you gather some money before all this life crisis will start. Starting a family,
Thank you.
getting shelter and clothing for your family. Okay.
Do you agree with the saying that we are never too old to learn?
Yes, I agree with that. Because, for instance, a man that I school with was at that time we were around 15. He was around 35, but he was in high school with us. So on that, I could stand and say we are never too old to learn. You can start
Thank
learning.
you.
Learning is a process. Okay.
What are the advantages of continuing education?
Yes, the most important part of continuing education is when you can at least get more knowledge. If you are going to pursue it in the course of a line where you are already, maybe if you are a teacher, you want to pursue your masters, it means you are going to have advanced knowledge compared to where the stage you are. And if in terms of giving out, you can give out more detailed and vivid information compared to when you were at the level of maybe first degree. So even in every profession, the more you have more education, in addition to what you're having already, it reflects or it have effect on
All right,
your
thank you.
career. Yes.
Thank you. That's the end of your speaking test. Good
Okay.
job,
Thank you.
Ruben.
Thank you.
Okay. The way that you spoke today, that's a band 8.
Really?
Yes. You know why?
Oh, Miss
Because
Anna, thank you. Yes.
well, at least you're gonna get a 7, but in terms of fluency and coherence, you're very good with that. Task response,
Okay.
I have no problem with that. Very good, well supported. You went straight to the point. You made comparisons and contrasts. You used idiomatic
Okay.
expressions. All the elements
Okay.
of good speaking of a band 7 were present and more. So when there's more, there's a good chance that you're going to get an 8. And there wasn't
Okay.
anything that isn't related to the topic. So well done
Okay.
today, Ruben. Keep up
Thank
the
you.
good work.
Thank you. Thank you. You see,
And
today I realized that I didn't use I was practicing because I didn't want to use last time you draw my attention on this. Yes, yes, yes. So today I didn't use any of that. I I only used it twice when you asked me a question that needs yes or no. So
you were
I think
wonderful today.
yes. Thank
I
you.
am so happy. And after
I'm
today,
happy to.
I hope you don't mind if I share the recording to the group. Would that be okay with
No
you?
problem. No problem. You can share
Uh-huh.
it.
But I'm gonna
Okay.
do that. I'm gonna do that after everyone has,
Okay.
because I'm gonna ask
As
the same questions for everyone.
okay.
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 All
All right.
right. So I'm gonna have to go now because
Okay.
Thea is waiting. All right.
Okay. Okay.
So
Thank you.
talk to
All
you
right.
again next week. Keep practicing LR and W.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
wonderful. Okay, bye for now, Ruben.
Bye.